I'm all fucking hopped up on fucking
Mountain Dew.
Red Bull energy drinks. Anyway, before we get started, I will whore ourselves out once again, and I want you guys to go to www.uncutsports.com and subscribe today and tell all your family, relatives, and whoever the fuck else you know to do the same thing.
Baby's mama's cousins.
And everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Now, it is shout-out time.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Mr. Bedford.
Number 2. Now, this goes out to Bean. I may have...
hold up. Bean Loco Bromigo Star.
On Facebook. I had this idea. I was going to take pictures off your YouTube page. Going to get some stills of you without a shirt on because...
Got pictures with no shirt on.
He literally looks like, you know, the movie Men in Black. You know when the man goes in to get coffee and there's some worms in there.
Yeah, not good, Bean.
Nah, he's got his dreads. He says he's not cutting his dreads off till Atlanta wins the Super Bowl. That motherfucker's gonna look like Bob Marley.
He's gonna look like Predator, shorty.
Yeah. So happy birthday. I should have put more effort into it. I should have got the pictures. But basically, what I'm saying is, I want to say thank you for all the hard work you've done over at our Facebook page, keeping us all up to date with your cut and paste skills. No one can beat that cat.
Bean, bring that shit over to Uncut Sports. Now, I also want to give a shout out to Tristan Powell.
Yes.
Now, we're gonna start right with all the shit that's been headlines in MMA, and
it's the horse meat.
That's the horse meat. Alistair Overeem failed his pre-fight drug test. Does that surprise you, George?
No.
Okay. It doesn't surprise me either. And I don't think it surprised a lot of people out there. And
surprised Dana White.
Stick a needle up my ass land, huh?
It surprised Dana White.
It surprised Dana White.
I don't know why. Yes, Dana White said he looked at us all in the face and said he lied to us.
Right.
Well, do we want to get into right now about how Overeem got popped, or we just want to stick on what this means for?
Well, let's talk about what happened. I mean, how it unfolded. Well, I mean, you know, this guy Keith Kaiser, who basically is the executive director for the Nevada Athletic Commission, made an announcement that Overeem's fucking ratio
was 10-1.
10 to, well, he didn't even say. You're allowed for it to be what, 10-1 or 6-1?
No, 10. Well, God, no, not 10-1. And what we mean by that is testosterone to epitestosterone. Is that what it? I mean, that's the word.
What it is. It's a ratio, and they give you a ratio, and that ratio.
Right. In Nevada, in most states, it's 6-1.
It's 6-1, right?
Now it's WADA has used a more conservative 4-1 since 2007. So it depends on the state. You'll find out in a little bit. It depends on where you're at, what country, what time of the day, what you've had. It's crazy.
Well, when it first was announced that the ratio was way beyond what they allow, they didn't say what the ratio is. Now today he came out and he said the ratio, that today is Thursday, this is when we're taping, is 14-1. That shit crazy, son. That's a crazy ratio. That is a big motherfucker ratio.
That's 3 times.
That's a her ratio.
3 and then some of the 4-1, and on the 6th, good God.
Yeah. Now, so basically the cat is out of the bag, and we know that motherfucker is very hard to get back in the bag. Here's
the thing. He might as well get his B sample tested and cross his fingers that something goes wrong and pull a Brian Braun and say that get something on the testing or how the sample was collected, because he's dead in the water.
Well, he really is. And the thing is that they did this test because they basically, Nevada, it's like, you know, we have so many fights, so many athletes. We can't hunt these guys down and try to test them and stuff. So when they were doing this thing, they said, hey, you know what? We're going to get all these guys who are here for this UFC 146 press conference, and we're going to test them now.
First time in history.
And they did it. And you know what? The thing that doesn't make Overeem look too good is the fact that, one, he's a Strikeforce athlete. Yeah, those guys seem to be failing tests. But the fact that Cain Velasquez, Antonio Silva, Frank Mir, Roy Nelson, and Junior dosSantos all had to take the surprising test, and they all passed it with flying colors.
Whoops.
So that doesn't make things look good. Now, for all you people who don't know the history of this, when Alistair Overeem came to the UFC, these guys have contracts, and they have certain things. Before he fought Brock Lesnar, supposedly, before he fought, he
passed 3 urine tests and a blood test.
But he signed a contract that says he would be subject to 2 random testing
after this event.
Okay, and And this was all these tests that he so took were before the Lesnar fight.
And it was miraculous on the day that Overeem was to be tested in Nevada. He had to leave the country to go take care of his ailing mother, which at the time none of us raised an eyebrow about and was like, yo, he's going to do the right thing. And then he gets a temporary fighting license.
Right. And there were conditions, and he had to take these random tests. Now,
surprise!
The random test, his first random test, bam, he got hit with. He fails it.
Miserably.
Now,
worse than a Wonderlick.
There's a couple things that are going to come into play. The first thing is going to be, is he going to ask for them to test his B sample?
He might as well.
Yeah. Now, for all you people that know how testing works, you piss in a fucking, you give your urine sample. You got an A sample that they label, and then they take another sample, which is the B sample. They test the A sample. If the A sample comes back dirty, they notify the athlete, and then you can appeal and say, I want you to test the B sample.
I heard there was a problem with his B sample. It burned right through the bottom of the cup.
Now,
that motherfucker, somebody whiffed his urine and put on 25 pounds.
Now, as of right now, okay, and it is 8:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, Alistair Overeem has not said test my B sample.
Because that shit burns
Because he's like, I don't want to hurt anybody.
That shit looks like slime from Ghostbusters.
But this is the problem.
He's done. There's no problem. It's a
Well,
wrap.
it's not just that either. Now they don't know, is he going to be like Cyborg? Are they going to take away that win? Because they can do that. It could go back to that.
They say,
I mean, it's all irrelevant because Lesnar's not even fighting anymore.
And we'll touch on Lesnar later. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, what's that going to do? It's not going to, and it's going to give. Well, the only thing I could see is, well, obviously, I mean, now you're going to have I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
This is the thing. Overeem,
Cyborg,
King Mo,
Chris
Cyborg,
and Diaz. Now,
and Diaz is a different story,
right? But
it's still a drug
They
test.
also have something in common. They all came from Strikeforce, and they all have drug issues.
Right.
Now, with that said, here's a question: you have a 3-time offender fighting for Strikeforce, who's getting ready to fight for the heavyweight title versus one Daniel Cormier, and I'm talking about Josh Barnett.
Right.
He's 3 times.
In my mind, if I'm Dana White, do you want what?
I don't touch him.
No, this is what I'm saying. If I'm Dana White right now, that event, when it happens, I'm sitting there jerking my dick hoping that Daniel Cormier knocks fucking Josh Barnett out, because then, under those circumstances, he wouldn't want to sign Josh Barnett anyway. Right. He would want to say, I'm going to sign Cormier. And he'll do it because the guy's clean.
Maybe.
Possibly. I mean, everybody comes out of Strikeforce pisses. Something happens with their piss.
Right. And I think Kevin and I will be able to shed some more light onto why some of these guys are more successful passing drug tests in other places in a little bit. Because I know most of you are thinking, blah, 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 blah. You'll see. We'll make it all clear, and it'll all be understood. Because,
in another episode.
Yeah, because you and I read way too much on this shit today.
Yeah. But the bottom line is that...
I get, what's next for Al? If you're Alistair Overeem, what do you do?
Yeah, well, if I'm Alistair Overeem, I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing prior to fighting in the K1 and doing that, because he was making great money in Europe doing that. He's popular. It's going to be no different. He can be like Barnett and those other guys that have been down the same path. The problem is, and what everybody is asking is, who's going to fight Junior dosSantos? That's what the question we pose to all you viewers out there. Who the fuck are they going to get to fight Junior dosSantos May 26th for UFC 146? In that big heavyweight card that everybody was excited about.
Frank Mir's already like, I'll do it.
Frank Mir, man, that is boring as shit. I'm sorry. He's had a million opportunities.
Kane get a rematch? Kane looked horrible in that fight versus him.
I mean, I'm looking.
Roy Nelson.
No.
Shane Carwin.
Yeah. No.
I don't know.
No. Who? I mean, there's nobody. I mean, who's beyond those top 5 guys in the heavyweight?
I'd make Cain Velasquez fight him again. It's either Cain Velasquez or Frank Mir. Flip a coin. I don't care which one.
Maybe did he fight Antonio Bigfoot Silva? I don't know. Anyway, we want you guys to tell us, who do you think should fight Junior dosSantos if they can't get this worked out, which apparently looks like that's going to be the way it goes.